is not all because of you, Dak Prescott. It's because of your weapon.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck. Real Cowboys fans, stand up. And I told y'all thought I was playing, man. Y'all thought I was playing, right? Y'all thought there ain't no way Tuck gonna drop banger after banger after banger. Nah, Tuck was just lying, man. But we had a good show with my dog Law Nation. We had a good show with my dog Cowboys Fan Talk Rome. So we got to keep things going, man. And this guy, just like Rome, just like Law, is one of my brothers, one of the people I talk to every day. Supremely talented when it comes to content, breaking down film. He's a coach, a father. He's doing a lot of different things, man. Couldn't be more proud of him. So I had to bring him on the channel to talk about these Dallas Cowboys, because if you want to stay updated, if you want to stay educated with the game of football, you definitely need to give my brother a follow, man. So CFO fams, give him a warm welcome to my dog, my brother, DMV. What's going on with you, bro?
Hey, man, that was a hell of an intro, bro. Hey, man, you getting really good at that, man.
Well, here's the thing, man. Like I tell people with the intros, it's easy to do intros with people who deserve them. Like you can't fake it. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's someone like, man, we got, you know, it's just like, nah, bro, it's genuine, because everything I'm saying about the people on the channel is extremely genuine. Like so it makes it easy. I ain't got no notes. I ain't got nothing to rehearse, man. It's just coming from the heart, and this is really how I feel about these people. Is why I got you on the show, bro. What's going on with you, my dog?
Ain't much, man. Hey, look, this is how you know y'all are dealing with a businessman. Because see, like when you introduce somebody, you edify them, like, bro, like those are tips that people don't know about.
Yeah, man.
Hey, yeah, those are tips, bro. Hey, appreciate it. But yeah, I'm excited, bro. When you asked me, when you sent me the text message, bro, I was ready to chomp at the bit. So. Yeah.
That's what it's all about, man. Like with my brothers and my sisters in the community, bro. And whenever I shoot a text, it's just like, just let me know when, Tuck. And it's likewise. You know what I'm saying? I can be busy, I can be traveling, but if DMV hits me up like, bro, I need you to go live, I'll make room for it. I'll make time for it, man, because it's genuine. Like I said, bro, I appreciate your content, what you do to the community, man, what you're doing, and you know what I'm saying, with your kids, you know what I'm saying, showing that behind the scenes, being a father who's coaching kids, you know, trying to get to the college level. Like there's a lot of different things that goes on behind the scenes with us content creators that not a lot of people, you know, really understand. You know, like we make it look easy, we make it look luxurious, but there's a lot of grind, there's a lot of sacrifice, but there's also a lot of things we're doing on top of that too. You know what I'm saying? Like we got kids getting ready for college, and you know, families and different things. So it's not as easy as we make it look, man. But speaking of college, you know what I'm saying, you've been doing some college content yourself, bro. So you know what I'm saying, I know the game's gonna drop on Monday, which will be streaming on the channel, man. So when you get the college football game, who you gonna play with? Who's the? Because I know you went to Howard, so who's gonna be your squad that you gonna pick and you gonna rep on college football?
I was gonna ask, are they gonna have Howard in the game?
I don't think. I know they had talked about a few HBCUs, but I'm not sure if they're on a cut. But you can make them, so you can go and do team builder and put your actual team. That's what I'm gonna do, man. So my old ass Emporia State team. Oh, you gonna see me out there, my Hornets uniform? You know what I'm saying? So you can go put your squad on there, but I'm not sure if Howard is on the actual game.
Yeah, I know. So, man, look, we were just talking like in the green room, you know what I'm saying? And I was looking at these running backs. Woo-wee! I'm one of those people that I gotta have me a running back that can run and catch, bro. And look, this class is coming up. I think Ohio State is gonna be that team that's gonna be really, really tough, because they got two of them, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They got.
Yeah, man. Not to jump the gun, Cowboys fans. You know, I'm like Tucking DMV talking draft. We're not talking draft yet, but we're gonna start here soon, right? But man, this running back class is special, especially in the Big 12. Like there's some dogs here, especially at the University of Kansas. Keep an eye on number 4, Devin Neal. I'm gonna try to get Devin on the show probably post-season, right? See, he's like, people understand, like Devin Neal probably would have been one of my favorite running backs in this class, probably like after Trey, you know what I'm saying? Like
he probably should have came out this year. He probably should have came out this year.
But here's the crazy part about it. Seeing how the running backs fell and slid, You know what I'm saying? You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays. But I told Cowboys Nation on a live show, we broke down all them damn running backs and didn't get one. We didn't get not one. So I am not doing no running backs for the Cowboys next year, bro. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have to figure it out on your own, man. But speaking of the Cowboys, this is why I want to bring you on specifically to talk about the running back room. So I know you played the position and you kind of dive in deep heavily because you understand what it's like to be in that role. So Cowboys has brought Ezekiel Elliott back, and we'll talk about that and get your true feelings on that. But overall, when you look at it in the middle of July, how are you feeling about the Cowboys running back room? Do you think we need to go get somebody, or you think we're good with the stable of backs that we currently have?
So what I will tell you is I'm one of those people that likes to look at it worst case to see if we can go forward. We can go forward with this room. So I think having Zeke, having Rico, having another year of experience, and then having what's the running back we got from the Rams? I can't think of his name right now. I don't know why.
Oh, Freeman.
Yeah, Freeman.
Yeah. With
having those three, I think that the room is something that I like the room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love it, but I like the room. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're still a contender with how the running back room is right now. Now, I think we could have gone over the top if we would have drafted a young guy, but I think we're more than serviceable with what we got right now.
Yeah, and I think we are, right? And I know how Cowboys fans and how we've been trained our entire lives, right? Whether you're an older Cowboys fan or a younger fan, we were always used to having one guy. He was our running back. We all bought his jersey. He got 30 to 35 carries a game. We all chanted his name, and that was the way we went about things in Dallas. But I think with this year, it's going to be more of a rotational situation where you're going to have Zeke, you're going to have Rico, you might have Freeman, you might have Deuce, you might have Hunter. Like, you're going to have just random different guys, and it might work out in our best benefit, because that way you're not putting wear and tear on your running backs as you dwindle through the 17-game season, right? Because I want Zeke to be fresh when we have to go to San Fran or play San Fran in the playoffs, or Detroit in the playoffs, or Philly in the playoffs, right? That's when I want you at your best. I don't want Zeke taking all bulk of the carries, taking 25 carries, 30 carries, week 1 and week 5 versus the Giants. You know what I'm saying? Like, taking those little reps. Let Deuce get those. Let Royce get those. Let Rico get those to get themselves in momentum. And then by the time playoffs hit and we get to late December, when we really need the run game, we should be all systems to go. But speaking of Ezekiel Elliott, so I posted this graphic here, and we'll talk about it here. Let me ask you this. I have it over and under 700 yards and 7 TDs for Zeke. Would you take the over, or would you take the under on that?
I'll take the over. I think he'll get over. I don't think it'll be that much more over, but I think I'd probably look at about 800 to 900 yards, maybe 9 touchdowns, something like that.
And that's where a lot of people were commenting, because a lot of people don't understand, like when Tuck tweets or posts on Instagram or TikTok. Yeah, I'm on Instagram and TikTok now. It's always kind of a trap, right? Because I set that number because a lot of people say, oh, well, Zeke is washed, right? I didn't want him back. We should have went with the younger running back, okay? List goes on and on. But for the value that we're able to get Ezekiel Elliott, bro, if he gives us 800 yards and 7 touchdowns, that is a damn good season for Ezekiel Elliott. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people kind of caught themselves and they were like, under. Like, nah, bro, you want to take that over, because I think that Zeke is fully capable of doing that, especially in Dallas. But, overall, when we brought Zeke back, how are you feeling about the move of bringing Zeke back?
I loved it, bro. I loved it, but, well, the thing that would have made me really, really love it is if we drafted another back with him. Right. You know what I'm saying? I would have way more than loved it, but I think we get somebody that Dak is comfortable with, and we have to realize that. Not just Dak, but he's also a leader. He's a guy that exemplifies what it is to be a football player, and he has a high IQ, and he can add things there. See, we didn't have when we lost Zeke last year. You could tell that we were missing that in the running back room. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tony Pollard wasn't going to help Rico get better. He wasn't going to help Deuce get better. You get what I'm saying? Like, Tony wasn't that type of leader. Tony was just a baller, and Tony was coming off of a broken foot or whatnot. But now you have a guy that is in quarterback meetings. You have a guy that the offensive line sheet.
Right. And I think a lot of people overlook that, right? Because, of course, everyone has their colorful graphics. But you have to understand, especially just from the offensive side of the ball. Defense, I would say we got a few guys, right? But offensively, who is going to be your emotional spark plug? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because CD doesn't speak much. I mean, you don't want it being your quarterback all the damn time. You kind of got Zach Martin, but he don't say much. Tyler Smith.
I got one.
But
I got one for you.
Well, I know the tight end, right?
Yeah.
But he's still cutting his teeth, right? You know what I'm saying? You kind of earn that. Versus Zeke can come in and be that veteran spark plug where he talks, the offense listens. You see what I'm saying? So I just think just from the value standpoint, because we saw, back when we had Hard Knocks and he was working with, what was his name, Jaquan Hardy, and those types of little things to try to get the person behind you better. Working with Malik Davis and just sharing his vision. And what I try to tell people, the thing about Zeke is smart. He knows he's kind of getting at the end of his career. So you left Dallas last year, you went to New England, had a decent season, but coming back home for this kind of be quote unquote your last dance, I think Zeke's going to leave it all on the line, and I think it's going to have a ripple effect with our offense. But yeah, man, Jake Ferguson's going to be that dog. You know what I'm saying? I think he really is. I'll talk about Jake Ferguson. We have another guest coming on tomorrow, right? But it's like, I think Jake Ferguson takes the leap where he's top 3 tight end in the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And I can say that you're going to have Kelsey, you have Kittle. I mean, well, let me say top 3. I'll take top 5, right? Because you're probably going to have Sam Laporta still kind of, you know what I'm saying? So, but top 5 where it's going to be flavor of ice cream, right? Like you're going to know the name of Jake Ferguson outside of just being a Cowboys fan, because I think it's going to be a very important piece of our offense. But yeah, I think Zeke is going to be that spark plug when things aren't going and we need to get things going. Zeke, and a lot of people don't understand, right? When you go to Cowboys games, it's kind of quiet. We all know that, right? From when I told y'all. But just something about that Zeke chant that echoes through AT&T Stadium, it kind of just gets everybody going. Like it's just the little thing, right? So we are going to need that out there on Sundays, especially with the way that our schedule's kind of looking, bro.
Oh, hey, you did it right, bro. Because look, people don't understand how that energy right there. Like we have CD when he do the little
right.
But
he got rid of that. You know what I'm saying? Tossing up slime. You know what I'm
saying? yeah. But look, it's certain things that are tone setting, and Zeke is tone setting, and we were missing that tremendously last year. And I'll even tell you 2 games that I think we win off the top of my head if we had Zeke. I think we beat Philly that first game.
Yep, on the road.
And I think we beat Miami.
Yep.
Those 2 games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
When we were falling short in the end zone and Schoonmaker, like those little things add up. And I know a lot of people got on me last year, got on a lot of us last year, was like, them to know when you go to PFF, it's not really colorful, but them points add up, right? And what people got to understand, because you play this position, so you know better than anybody. And I played on the opposite side, so I was tackling people like yourself. Them body blows throughout the course of a game can wear you down. And I just feel like outside of Hunter, there was nobody really that makes you strap up your chin strap. You know what I'm saying? But when Zeke is back there, you have to strapping up your chin strap because he's coming downhill. You know what I'm saying? And those body blows just wear you down. And then that way, that's why we always saw Tony Pollard then break. You know what I'm saying? Because he's working the jab. Now here comes the knockout blow. But we just didn't have a jab. You know what I'm saying? We were just trying to set the knock. We just didn't have the jab last year. And Zeke is going to be the jab. And here's what I'm excited about, because I won this last year, bro. When you line up in 22 personnel, you know what I'm saying, or 12 personnel, like when you go out there in this 2-back formation and you have Hunter Luepke and you have Zeke in the backfield, you know what I'm saying, like give Zeke a fullback, bro. Like that's that's how you line up and play grown man football, y'all. And you're going to need that throughout the course of the NFL season.
Not to mention, both of those guys are pass catchers too. So you know, the play action game, you still a threat to pass the ball with those guys in the backfield as well.
Right.
So
yeah,
I want people to remember that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You're gonna have that threat, right? Just quick threats, right? Check down, swing check, and let them do their thing out in space. Now, speaking of the running back room, I felt like last year, Schottenheimer did a decent job, but we had some problems. Let's be honest, right? Our offensive line wasn't the best, and our scheme wasn't necessarily the best, right? There's a lot of times you're kind of like, okay, I feel like we were trying to hit the outside a little bit too much, right? Whether it's the zone running or with the gap running, right? So what are some ways that you think that the Cowboys can improve just from the scheme perspective to get our running game kind of back on track to what we kind of knew before? Well, let me ask you this. Do you think they even want to, right? Do you even think they want to? Like, do you think the Cowboys really want to be balanced, or is this really the Dak Prescott show and whatever we get from the run game, we just happen to get? Let me ask you that question first.
I think Mike wants to be able to hand the ball off whenever he wants to hand the ball off. Now, to your point, he might not want to hand the ball off very much, but when he wants to hand it off, he wants to be able to run. And some of the times we weren't able to really do that last year. Like you said, we didn't have a jab. Like, look, when things are going awry, having that jab in your pocket, bro, like you can just jab somebody to death, and like that's what we were missing tremendously. So I think, to your point, I think Mike really wants to throw the ball, but he wants to be able to run whenever it is that we need to.
Right. Yeah, and I always say it's like kind of having your North Star. When you get lost, what can you get back to, right? And think about our foes in San Francisco. When things are a little shaky, all right, just give it to Christian McCaffrey, bro, to settle down, right? And we didn't have that last year. Like, even if you go to the Green Bay game, like, even though things were kind of routed in the first quarter, it'd have been nice to give the ball to Zeke and get a first down, like get some momentum, get some energy, slow everything down just for a little bit. But we just couldn't get that rolling last year. So I think that, when it comes to the scheme, whether it's Schottenheimer or Mike McCarthy, with the play call, it's just like, listen, our blocking has to be better up front, but some of the scheme and it's the blocking and, just at the play calling just needs to be better when it comes to our run game, which I think they naturally can improve. I think you'll probably see a little bit more stretch zone, more little inside zone a little bit. I know Zeke is super inside zone guy. That's his favorite call, right? So it's got to get back to basics. And hopefully with this big, bulkier offensive line, we can really get back to that, man. So I think that's going to be an important piece because our offense can be our best defense. And I feel like, Green Bay, we can't score points. We couldn't stop the bleeding. We couldn't do anything. And we ultimately suffered the price.
But yeah, Green Bay was able to do exactly what it is that we want to be able to do. Because Green Bay, no, actually, let me go back. I think Buffalo was able to do what we were trying to do. Buffalo's game plan was to actually, air it out. But once they handed the ball off a couple times and they realized that, hey, we can't match up down there, then the game plan kind of changed. So I think that we want to be able to do that. And also to talk about some of the things we want to get back to. I think the trap, without having a center that is, more than average, because I do think Biotis was probably about middle of the road when it comes to that. We weren't able to do the gap scheme stuff effectively like we want to. So, I don't know if you remember one of my favorite runs of Zeke's in 2016, and I'm not saying that this is what he's going to be able to do anymore, but that Bengals had Frederick, we had Zach Martin, we had Leary, we had Leary, right? I thought in 2016 did we have Leary? I think we did. And I think
was that still? It was kind of the end of the free reign offensive line. I think Big Ron was out there.
I think so. I think that was his last year, and they were looking to replace him and stuff like that. So, but regardless, we had the interior, and we built that. Now we have Tyler Smith. We got Cooper Beebe that's expected to be the guy, and then we got Zach Martin. So, hopefully we can get back to doing some of that thing, some fold blocks and things like that.
Yeah, because I think that's where we can really help as well, because I feel like our offensive line is a little bit more athletic, right? Because I love Tyron Smith, I want him back, but he ain't no mover, right? You know what I'm saying? So you're running those counters, you're running those traps, you know what I'm saying? You're running those, those pin and pulls. It's not Tyron, right? So I feel like Tyler Guyton's going to be a little bit more athletic to get outside, you know what I'm saying? Get on the perimeter and get to those safeties into the second level. So we'll see how it all translates, especially as we get to camp. Now, there's one specific running back, because you mentioned Rico, you mentioned Zeke, you mentioned Freeman, but there was a cute little story last year, DMV, in the draft, right? And everyone loved him. And at camp, man, there was a lot around the block screaming his name and autographs and all sorts of stuff, man. And all of a sudden, I went to one game in the middle of the year, and they had his jerseys at the upstairs. If you ever go to the AT&T Stadium, is like a pro shop. There's a upstairs at the pro shop where they kind of put all the clearance jerseys there, and that's where Deuce Vaughn's jerseys was. Like they moved him up to the third floor, right? So what do you think happens with Deuce Vaughn? I know a lot of people were saying that he's a fringe guy when it comes to the roster. I personally always thought Deuce was the Tony Pollard replacement, kind of your explosion guy, and they were kind of just redshirting him last year. But what do you think the expectation should be for Deuce? And do you think he even makes the roster? Which I think he makes the roster. I just know Jerry and Steven and the Cowboys, they love a cute story. They're not going to blow it up that quick. But what do you think the expectations are for Deuce?
I think it depends on how Royce Freeman plays. Mm-hmm. If Royce Freeman coming, it's because we know they ain't cutting Zeke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If Rico gets hurt a little bit, he might be gone. But I think it ultimately depends on he has to be able to be in front of Royce, in my opinion. Royce, yeah, I'm gonna say that because ultimately Deuce was a 6th round pick. You know what I'm saying? And then if you look at it, they hide him well enough. Maybe they get him back on practice squad. You know, I know his dad is a scout and all that type of stuff, but at the end of the day, Mike McCarthy is on a contract year, so that cute story stuff, like for him, like that's not gonna cut it,
right?
And I'm pretty sure, like money wise, Deuce ain't bringing in that much money,
right?
The feel good story might be cool, but he ain't bringing in that much money with jersey sales and stuff to where Jerry and them could really stand on the table for him. He's got to produce, regardless.
But I think what they're gonna do, they're gonna do the special teams thing. Like, oh, he's a good asset in special teams, right? Because I just think they're gonna want to keep him, right? But here's the tricky part when we start to get into our roster manipulation. Zeke, you have Rico if healthy. You have Hunter. Hunter's not going. That's 3.
Yeah, Hunter's going to play special.
Right. So you got
Rico's
3.
going to play. Rico can play special.
That's 3 backs, right? And then you start getting into the backs versus tight end situation. Like, how does that all fall? Because there's 4 tight ends.
That's what I think Deuce is kind of messed up.
Yeah.
With the tight end room, because like you said, Hunter is going to be like we're at least keeping 4 backs,
right?
And it's like, how many tight ends are we keeping?
Right, because you're going to have to keep Ferg, you're going to keep Schoon, you're going to probably keep Stevens Jr. if fully healthy. They'll keep Stevens, and then they'll keep the undrafted kid.
Brevin. Brevin's going to make this. Brevin's going to be on the roster.
So that's 4. That's 4 tight ends. It's getting a little. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm like, Deuce. I don't know, bro. It's the tight end room, really. Yeah. It's the tight end room. Now we can go a little thin at receiver. I think we might be able to go thin, but it's like, well, what the hell are we doing with CD?
Right. Like, yeah. So it's gonna be fun because I feel like that's when Mike McCarthy's gonna be like, man, Deuce, your knee looks kind of swollen. No, I'm good. No, I think your knee looks swole, bro. I think we're gonna put you on IR. We're gonna put you on IR. So that Mike, might be it. Mike McCarthy gets real sneaky and dirty. Like I think that's what they did with Hendershot. You know what I'm saying? Hendershot, like, I'm fine. No, you're not fine, bro. I think you hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he wants to sit you down. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be interesting to see how it all shakes out at camp because last year at camp, Deuce was getting so many different reps. I really thought they had a plan for him, and they put him on display in preseason, but he never really just got going throughout the season. In some games, he was even inactive, so we'll see how that fares out. Now, you mentioned the wide receiver room. CD, who knows, bro? I don't know what the hell's going on. Where he get his money, he should get his money. He should have been paid about a week ago. But I want to talk about the wide receiver 3 position, right? The Jalen versus Jalen competition. As of right now, because right now they're both, and that's cool parts. Like they have competition between Jalen Tolbert and Jalen Brooks, but they're really cool friends. They're actually training right now with Brandon Cooks. I just saw on Instagram. But how do you think that shakes out, and who ultimately wins the wide receiver 3 position? Or is there a dark horse candidate, whether it's like Flannery or somebody that's coming out that we can kind of see coming that can ultimately take that position?
That's interesting, bro. Ultimately, that's assuming that CD's coming back, right? That's
he'll be back. It's gonna be a little delay. You know what I'm saying? I would say CD. If I had to bet, CD will be back by the time I get to see them in Vegas. So what's that? The second preseason game?
I think so.
Yeah, he'll be back by Vegas.
Okay, so I think that Jalen Tolbert has the leg up there. You know, from what I understand, he's kind of number one with CD out. You know, from what I've been gathering, what I've been hearing, what I've been able to piece together, he's been number one since CD is out. So I think you could put him in the slot a little bit more than you could put Jalen Brooks in the slot. But with that being said, though, like Jalen Brooks set the world on fire with camp last year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if he can make a leap, man, who knows? I mean, that's an interesting battle. I think Tolbert comes out on top.
Okay.
But I would not sleep on Brooks at all.
Right.
At all.
Because here's what's going to make this battle interesting, right? Because, like I said, I'd probably say maybe August, middle of August. Let's round that game's on the 16th, August 16th or something like that, because I'll be in the building in Vegas with everyone in Vegas. Cowboys in Vegas, y'all know what I'm saying. I couldn't say no, was it preseason or not, right? But I will say this. The thing about CD being out is now you're going to get a lot of opportunity from Brooks and Tolbert. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get a lot of reps. So it might be a situation where, hey, Tolbert might be the lead dog, but due to the inflection of the reps that Brooks is getting, he might take advantage of like he did at camp last year. Now, I think that Tolbert did take a leap last year at camp as well. And he had, a few different highlights, got in the end zone, throughout the season. So I feel like he has the lead in it. But I feel like if Tolbert's at a 7 or an 8, I would say Brooks might be like a 6.5. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really going to be close unless the rookie comes in and everyone's tossing the X because they think he's Dez Bryant. So, we'll have to see how that all plays out, man. But there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of Jalen Marino Cropper out there. I mean, there's other guys. Dennis Houston's like those.
We ain't talked about Terp.
Yeah, Terp.
We ain't talked about Terp.
Right. And I think the reason why I don't talk about Terp is because we're going to need an X wide receiver, a boundary guy if you're going to play seed in the slot. So that's why I kind of just know he's going to be there as a gadget, but he's not going to play on the boundary. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, it's going to be CD, Cooks, Terp, and go out there and have fun. We'll see how that all shakes out. But me personally, Jake Ferguson's our wide receiver too. You know what I'm saying? So Jake Ferguson's wide receiver too. And then if you are able to toss in John Stevens into the mix, you know what I'm saying, that adds a different dimension. Now, before I let you go, bro, I want to transition over to the defensive side of the ball quickly. And I want to talk about the cornerback position. Now, Trayvon's posting his workout videos. Listen, Cowboys fam, I need one of those cameramen to follow me around and get all my workouts and close angles and do all the zoom stuff. I mean, because they be making their workouts look so drastic and dark and detailed, like cinematic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Versus my little setting up my cell phone.
They might got the cinematic feature on the iPhone.
Bro, no, they got more than cinematic feature, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like they make their workouts look good. You know what I'm saying? But it looks like Trayvon and Diggs are starting to move back a little bit. As far as his rehab is concerned, we have Jordan Lewis who's returning, who was talking trash to Amon-Ra St. Brown. I guess it hurt his feelings, and he went on the podcast and say like Jordan Lewis was doing too much. And then you have Deron Bland. But the question I want to ask you, bro, and I don't think no one's really addressed this, is Deron Bland moving back inside, or is he going to stay on the outside? I mean, he got the outside reps last year when Trayvon went down. So do you move him back into the slot, or do you keep him back on the boundary and maybe have Jordan Lewis being your inside guy, or maybe one of these younger guys being your inside guy?
I think the way you said it is how it's going to go. I think you got to keep Bland on the outside, put him in the boundary, and then put Jordan Lewis on the inside. And then, you know what I'm saying, whatever happens on the back end as far as the guys like Eric Scott and the rookie, you know what I'm saying, have them fight it out for who the backups are. But for what you said, I think you got to kind of lead with what your strong suit is, and it makes zero sense to kind of, have a newer guy out there, and then you have Deron Bland and Jordan Lewis fighting over one spot. Right.
Yeah, and I just feel like just the way that our roster is currently looking, right, it just looks better putting Bland on the outside, like you said, Jay Lucas. Now you have veteran guys in your big three, then let the young boys fight for the fourth spot. But for the Cowboys, from a budgeting standpoint, they might want, they might want to put Deron Bland back in the inside, because inside corners get paid less than outside guys. But it's going to be interesting to see how that all fares out. Now, I'm going to ask you this question before we go, and I want everybody in the chat to answer this, right? Put y'all on the spot right now. Slam your money down, right? $2,000. Who hits more interceptions next year, Deron Bland or Trayvon Diggs?
I'm gonna go with Deron Bland. Deron Bland.
Yeah, man, I thought about this, man. I'm thinking about this heavily, man. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I want to go with Trayvon because I feel like earlier on, quarterbacks are going to be dumb and to try him to see if he's fully recovered. And I feel like he's going to get kind of that boost, right? But it's interesting because, I mean, man, it's going to be fun to have two ball hawks out there, especially with Zim, because a lot of people don't understand Zim is a secondary guy. You combine that with the, you know what I'm saying, the coaching of Al Harris. I think our secondary is going to be great. And I think our safety is going to be much improved as well. But it's like, if I had to gauge it, man,
I think more ball. I think more targets are going to go Deron Bland.
You think it's going to go to?
I think they'll try and attack us through the hashes, and I think they'll try and attack us through Deron,
and he'll get more picks. Yep. Ooh, I want to sleep on this one, but as of right now, if I'm going to go right now, I'm going with Trayvon, man. I think they're going to test Trayvon early to see if he's fully healthy, see if he's fully recovered, and they're going to mess around and find out. They're going to mess around and find out, man. So I'm going with Trayvon, man. But last question, all right? Before, we had this whole conversation, kind of talked about this off grid, but it's like, how are you feeling about this season? And what is your expectations? I know a lot of people kind of over the board, right? A lot of people just like, I'm cool. It's a season. But do you think that we can actually get over the hump? And what are some things that we can do to become a championship contender, right? It's just like, what can we do to compete for a championship? Not just be a cool little 10 or 11 win team and maybe get a divisional, appearance. What we can do to actually be championship contenders with the team that we currently have in-house, with the ingredients that we currently have in-house?
We're gonna have to make a trade.
Oh, well, all right. Well, that's
trade.
it. Well, that's it. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming on. Tell everybody where they can find you.
I'm just saying, bro, if you think about the teams that have been getting over the hump or the teams that have been getting to the bowl or having deep runs, they went and made a move. Mm-hmm. We haven't done that. We need some new blood in here. Look at San Fran. Who's the new blood? It's Christian McCaffrey. Right. Christian McCaffrey was the new. He was outside of what they, gave birth to. You look at the Ravens. I'm not saying that. I mean, they lost to the Chiefs, but that when they added Roquan over there, that added a different dimension to that defense.
Right.
Look at Detroit. They went and got. Didn't they? Who did they? Well, Detroit actually was more of a draft.
Yeah, I don't think they just smoked
Montgomery. I mean, if you count Montgomery as a guy that they really went that was key to add to Jahmyr Gibbs, and then the quarterback Goff trading for him, that's different. But we're gonna have to do something outside of what we've normally done, and we're gonna have to add something to this roster.
To get what you never gotten, you gotta do something you've never done, and unfortunately, the Cowboys just don't do that, man. They feel like their approach is the working approach, is the effective approach. And it might be a trade. They might give up a comp pick for, a defensive tackle who's kind of an unknown and, like that. But they're not going to go make a trade and go get one of those guys. Now, I just wish the Cowboys had that same sense of urgency, DMV, that they did when they got Trey Lance. Like, where's that energy? You know what I'm saying? Where's that energy of defensive tackle? We're like, you know what? I don't care who I gotta talk to. We
could have gave up that fourth and got something that was going to be on the field, bro.
We could have got a linebacker last year. We could have got a defensive tackle last year. We could have did a lot with it. I want that same energy this year with defensive tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's that same sense of urgency that when you had, like, you didn't dress the coaches or anybody, scouts or anybody, you just did it because you felt like that's what needed to be done. Do the same thing with defensive tackle this year and go help us, because right now Zim got me and Mozzie out there trying to stop the run. It's probably gonna be bad, man. So DMV, my dog, appreciate you for coming on. For everyone who's seen you for the first time, let everybody know they can find you, my dog.
You can find me at DMV Fanatic on YouTube, and DMV Fanatic 1 on X, and on Instagram, the real DMV Fanatic.
Yeah, definitely get my dog a follow. Like I said, you will not be disappointed, man. Get educated, get your football knowledge up. For all you parents who are out there, have kids who are playing sports, not just football, but sports. He gives you a behind the scenes look at what that's really like, because it's a sacrifice, all the traveling back and forth. And now I haven't been a sports dad until now. Now all of a sudden, my son's in high school. He's getting ready to be a freshman in high school. He's gotten into soccer just randomly. I'm not sure why, because he always hated the sport. Gotten into soccer. He's gotten really good at soccer. and now he's being offered to play on a traveling team. Like, bro, why? You know what I'm saying? We was almost at the end.
Ooh, that's that money, Tuck. That's that big money, baby.
I know, but we was almost done with this, man. You know what I'm saying? So now we're gonna be traveling, going back and forth, and doing this for soccer. So
hey, it's gonna be fun, bro.
It's gonna be fun, right? It's gonna be fun. It was hot. The other day it was hot as hell out there. They was out there getting smoked. You know what I'm saying? I didn't bring my umbrella and stuff. So I was like, bro, y'all here getting packed up in the heat, man. It's like 103 out here. No shade. You know what I'm saying? But the sacrifices that we as parents make for our kids, man, it's the biggest reward we'll ever see, man. So keep doing your thing, my dog. I know you're getting some coaching stuff as well. So like I said, follow him if y'all really want to be educated. And if you're seeing me for the first time, do the same, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate all the support. Follow me on all social media platforms at jtuck151. I'm on Instagram now. I'm on TikTok now. Now, we're getting everybody, y'all, CFO gang, on getting everybody a grace period, right? Because we got a lot of, casuals and Dak sucks and blah, 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 blah on TikTok and Instagram. They're just not used to me, so I'm letting them kind of get adapted before we get to camp. Then I'm gonna start dunking on them boys and start hurting their feelings, and they gonna be mad. So y'all go tell them, like, listen, this is not what we do here. If you're gonna watch, I had a dude tell me you need to go watch some film. Told me, I was like, oh, okay, you hella new, bro. I'm gonna give you a mulligan because you have no idea who you talking to, bro. So give me a subscribe, give me a follow, man. Appreciate all support. We are continuously dropping bangers, showing the power of what we do here in this community with new media. Give everybody on this channel a follow, because when the season happens, you're going to want your truth, and you're going to want to be educated, and you're going to want your context, and there's no better place that does it than Cowboys Nation, man. So I appreciate all support. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and run the damn ball. Peace.